A video almost a week in the making, canceled loads, hundreds of miles of deadhead, and nasty weather, all in this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, I am currently driving on Highway 16, climbing up the Bighorn Mountains here in northwestern Wyoming. I got a load yesterday, picking up in Worland, Wyoming for today. So I drove to Worland last night, parked there, and then this morning it was through JB Hunt. They're usually pretty reliable. They called this morning and say, the load's canceled. That's been pushed back till the 3rd of January. I'm like, well, that doesn't do me much good now, does it? So we have the second load booked, picking up in Kansas City, going to Salt Lake over the weekend. It'll deliver Tuesday in Salt Lake. So these are some hairpin curves here climbing up these mountains. Anyway, so we didn't want to lose that. So we had to start searching for another load, and of course where I was, this can plant in Worland was about the only thing out of there, and they were shut down today, apparently. So I'm having to go all the way over to Colony, Wyoming, which is the very northeastern corner of the state, right by South Dakota, and pick up kitty litter, going to a Walmart distribution center in Bentonville, Arkansas. And then from there I can still try to pick up my load Saturday going to Salt Lake. So this one's more miles, less money, but what are you going to do? I drove 160 some odd miles yesterday to get to the pickup, which ended up not happening. And now I'm having to drive 240 miles or more over to pick up now this one, so I'll get there this afternoon. Gotta love it. Do also want to say, stay tuned, because one of my subscribers, Connie, has a friend who's got a couple of dogs that are going to need new homes within the week, and they're in the Denver area, so we'll show the dogs here in a little bit. And if you live in that area, or you know somebody that does, that would love to adopt these dogs, take on these dogs, she would be gratefully appreciative of that. So like I say, stay tuned for that, and we'll let you know. So anyway, I can only imagine what this road looks like in lousy weather. We're at almost 7,000 feet right now. You can see the snow everywhere, and we're climbing up a lot of hairpin curves. This road gets shut down a lot during the winter. It just happens to be open right now, and it's the shortest way to get across from northwest Wyoming to northeast Wyoming, where I need to go to pick up the kitty litter. But at least it's a pretty view. I'll give it that. You know, like I said, I would not want to be on this road in lousy weather. What do you think? Well, we're at about 8,500 feet, and we're still going up. I can't remember exactly how high this pass is, but it's obviously closer to 9,000 or more. I think we gotta be towards the top. Beautiful shot of the mountains over that way. Look at that. It is pretty up here. Yep, now we're starting to go down. All right, so 85.29, or 85.33, 35, 36. That seems to be about the top point here. So, kind of at the top of the world, baby. Not as high as like Vail Pass in Colorado, but still high. And we are much further north, too. You can see there's still snowy spots on the road. 35. Must be a tight turn here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Tight hairpin turn to the right. Truck coming the other way. Hello, driver. See, it is beautiful up here. A lot of people come up here to snowmobile in the winter, and they come to hunt and fish and all that. Oh, no, we're going up again. All right, maybe that wasn't the top. See right there, there's a snowmobile crossing sign. Yeah, 8552. Okay, we're still going up. Yeah, it's beautiful up here. It's really pretty in the summer. Of course, thank God it's not snowing or anything right now. This could be pretty hairy. What do you think? We gotta be darn near at the top here. It looks like we're still going up a little bit, but holy Merritt, we're at 9,482 feet right now. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, pretty high up here. You can see why this road gets shut down a lot. Look at this. That's just kind of ice and snow packed right there. I'm driving on. So, alright, we are starting to go down. Who knows if we might go back up again. I'm just taking it slow and steady. Don't hit the brakes. Using my engine brakes a little bit. That's how you drive on this stuff. Sun is out at least, so, you know, got that going for us today. I wouldn't want to be doing this at night when you can't really tell what you're driving on. But, oh, yeah, looks like we're going to kind of go back up a little bit again. This is crazy. I think I've only driven on this highway once before in my life. You know, yes, I live in Wyoming, but I'm down in the very southern part of the state, in Cheyenne. I don't tend to get out this way very often. Not a lot of trucking loads up this way, so, you know, that's why I had to drive 260 miles or whatever from one place to another to pick up another load. If you're in the Northeast, hell, that's another major city, even less than that. But, you know, a little spread out here in the old West there, baby. Watch out for the elk next 5 miles. Oh yeah, we're still going up. Wow. It is pretty. These off to the left here, by the way, if you don't know what those are snow fences. They disrupt the snow and then it kind of collects behind them. And then the whole theory is keeps it from coming over the roadway and making that really bad. Oh, it looks like we're going to go down and then curve around up here and go up even more. Be curious to see if we break 10,000 feet or not. 10,000 feet is about timberline, and what that means is the trees don't really grow up above that. You look at this mountain up here to the right, you can see the trees kind of stop at a certain point. That's called timberline. They don't grow over a certain altitude. Kind of interesting. So when you get up to like Pikes Peak, which is like, I don't know, 14,000 feet, something like that, no trees up top at all. It's all just kind of bare rock and dirt. So, yep, alright, we're still going up. We're at 9,500 now. We gotta be approaching the top at this point. I haven't been on this highway in a long time, but it's a very nice scenic drive. Alright. Scenic area, 1,500 feet. Well, it's all scenic. But, you know. I would say we're approaching the top. Yeah, because we're now getting here above timberline. 95, 98. Usually they have a sign posted with the altitude of where you're at. There's one over there. Let's see what that says. Powder River Pass, elevation 9,666 feet. So there you go. So we are at the top, and now we start going down, baby. All right, so here we are now on Monday the 2nd. Yeah, last part of that video was Thursday. Been very busy since then. And here am I driving now. Here I am now driving in Glenwood Springs Canyon, Glenwood Canyon, on I-70 westbound in Colorado. I-80 in Wyoming still shut down from that last storm coming through, and I'm delivering in Sandy, Utah tomorrow morning, Tuesday at 6 a.m. So I had taken 70 across. Let me back up a little bit. When you last saw me, I was heading to Cullinan, Wyoming to pick up the kitty litter, which I did late Thursday night. They delayed me about 6 hours. Drove all through the night. Made it to Vermilion, South Dakota to a new TA Express there on I-29 south of Sioux City. Or is that Sioux Falls? I can never remember which it is. South Dakota. Anyway, then left Friday night. Drove all through the night, and made it down to my delivery in Bentonville, Arkansas, home of Walmart, where it first started, to a Walmart distribution center there for Saturday morning. Then made it up to the Petro in Joplin, Missouri, on my way back up to Kansas City to pick up that load I had talked about that we still had. And I had to do a break there at the Joplin 44, and was maybe going to buy my Garmin OTR 1010. My wife gave me $300 for Christmas. My older son gave me $300, and thanks for being able to use the pole barn for all of his stuff for the Five Nights at Freddy's and the Night 5 movie and all that he did. And I had 300 in points. I went in there to go buy it when I was going in to take my shower, and they racked it up $90. It was $990 at that point. Like, really? Really? Not giving you the satisfaction for jacking up the price on me. So, didn't do that. Got my shower, and ended up making it up to Kansas City around 10 p.m. Picked up my next load of insulation going to Sandy, Utah. And then on my way driving all through the night again till Sunday morning. To that point, yeah, because it was it was a late Saturday night I picked up, right? Well, here comes a little tunnel here. I think there's two tunnels, one going westbound here, and then there's a double tunnel with both directions coming up. So check this out. Oh yes, went through the Eisenhower Tunnel, which is up at about 11,000 feet. Did catch some video of that. I'll show you that later on here. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about Paris, France. Don't worry, I remember. Okay, so I remembered that the TA in Oakley, Kansas is also an independent. The problem is the corporate ones don't tend to carry the 10-inch Garmin, the new Garmin. They only carry the 8-inch. So I thought maybe Oakley has it, and they did, and it was still only 900, not 990. So, used my points, paid the money, the Christmas cash I got, and got that. So that's going to be coming up in the next video. We'll do an unboxing of that and my initial usage of the OTR 1010, which is their new version. So, there you go. So, back to what I was talking about. Here we are, driving along Glenwood Canyon. It is Monday. I have to deliver tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Right now, 12:30. Still have probably another, I don't know, 6 hours to go at least to make it to Salt Lake area. I'm going to stay at the Sapp Brothers, already reserved a spot for tonight. And my delivery is about 13 miles from that for Tuesday morning. So then we'll start looking today and tomorrow to see what loads we can get me back towards the house so I can pick up Rusty, finish loading the truck, get some fresh laundry and bedding, and we'll be back out pretty much until the first part of February. What do you think? Here's the other tunnel. Oops, it dropped me. Big bumps. This whole stretch of I-70 through the Glenwood Canyon is, you know, as projects go, fairly new. About 30 years old at this point, but it used to be just a small 2-lane highway going through Glenwood Canyon, so this was a huge project they took on years ago, and they added these tunnels, and they kind of double-tiered the roadway, which is kind of interesting. So it's really an interesting drive, especially in the summer months. Real pretty. Yeah, I got stuck in Bennett, Colorado. I got there yesterday morning, Sunday morning, and the big storm was coming through. So they had everything shut down. Wyoming, like I said, I-80 in Wyoming is still shut down. I-70, they had the chain laws up. Last night I kept waking up and checking the roads, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting out there in all that mess. And then this morning they had taken down the chain laws. It was starting to get light. I'm like, all right, here's my window. Let's head on out and make it across and see if we can make it all the way to Salt Lake, so we don't have to reschedule my delivery. So then we can do something coming out there to get me back through the house. What do you think? Forgot about the tunnel here at the end, right before Glenwood Springs. Yep, come into this one and then you hit Glenwood Springs. So if you want to go to Aspen, then you take, there's a highway that goes north from here. Can't remember the highway name. It goes up to Aspen. So if you're loaded with money and don't know what to do with it and want to throw it all away and go up to Aspen, well, you go right ahead. Oh, there it is, Highway 82, Aspen, 1 mile. I've been to the Glenwood Hot Springs they have up here once. They have these caves where there's steam caves with the hot springs, and it's all pretty cool. Years ago in my radio days, worked at a radio station that served this area, served Grand Junction, right? It was out of Rifle, Grand Junction, Glenwood Springs, Carbondale. Kind of got into Aspen a little bit. It was a country station, KISZ, Kiss FM, baby, yeah. So there you go. All right, I think there's somewhere up here in Silt, there's supposed to be a little truck stop maybe I can pull off at, now that I'm on the far western side of the state. Cook up some lunch, what do you think? Okay, so here it is, Tuesday the 3rd now. I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah again. And yeah, I tried putting this video together last night when I got here, but I had to do a split before I delivered early this morning at 6 a.m. And of course they weren't there at 6 a.m. So that took a lot longer. I didn't get parked back here again until about 11 o'clock this morning. And at that point, I-80 was still shut down. They put up chain laws again and everything all through Colorado. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking today off. I got other stuff I got to do. I needed to get a new DOT physical because that one expired on the 7th of this month. And so today being the 3rd, yeah, Tuesday the 3rd, I had to get that done. Luckily, they have a DOT thing, chiropractor who does the DOT physicals here at the Sapp Brothers in Salt Lake. There you go. So got that done. Got a lot of other paperwork done. We're all caught up. So anyway, we're trying to make it back home, and we'll try to do that for tomorrow. So I've already got some loads lined up that I'm looking at. We'll try to get those finalized in the morning. But like I say, got other things done. Got my load of insulation delivered in Sandy, Utah this morning. I've been trying to put this video together for a week now. I've just been so busy and I haven't had time. It takes a long time to put these together. So I got some time tonight. So we're going to get to that. When I was in Evansville, Wyoming last Wednesday, did get to meet another subscriber. This is Johnny. All right, here we are sitting in the truck, and I'm at Hat 6 truck stop in Evansville. I always get this confused. This is Evansville.
Evansville, yeah.
Evanston is on 80 on the other side of the state.
West, yeah.
But yeah, I delivered this morning, and this is Johnny. Came by and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, Clutch!" And so we've been just sitting here shooting the stuff for a while. But nice to have you here in the truck.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Pleasure to finally meet you after missing you quite a few times.
Yeah, well, you caught up with me here, and you run this area a lot. So we've been just kind of shooting stories back and forth here for a little while.
Yeah.
Having a good old time.
Absolutely. Absolutely been enjoying it.
And you had a chance to check out the remodel firsthand.
The remodel is awesome. He did a beautiful job on it. Very impressive. Very impressive.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you. Take care of yourself.
Real nice guy. Was glad to meet him and all that. Also, I had mentioned earlier when I was driving over the Bighorns that my subscriber Connie had a friend who had some dogs that needed a new home in the Denver area, so I was going to put that on the video, and I hadn't gotten to it yet, so I called her the other day and said, I haven't got the video done yet, I'm so sorry. And she said, don't worry about it, the dogs are okay. The woman made a deal with her landlord, and I guess they had changed the rules, saying you can only have one pet, and she had 3, and so she was going to have to get rid of 2 of her dogs. And look at the dogs, aren't they cute? Aww. But that all worked out, so she gets to keep her dog, so that's not an issue, all right? So I know I've got great subscribers, and I know somebody out here would have happily taken those dogs in. So that's all taken care of. Oh, didn't want to forget, I had mentioned in the road part of the video earlier that I was going to show you some video of going through the Eisenhower Tunnel. Actually, technically, the Eisenhower-Johnson Tunnel. It was originally just the Eisenhower Tunnel when it was just one tunnel. And then they added the Johnson Tunnel so that you have 2 lanes going each direction now, which is nice. I always thought that was a pretty cool tunnel when I was a kid. Right as you're coming into it, I used to ski at the Loveland Ski Area, which you go right underneath as you're going in. So let's look at that. All right, as you're approaching, you can see the Loveland Ski Area, the slopes to the left there. They're also up above the tunnel up to the right. And you just go right in underneath the whole Loveland Ski Area. Pretty cool. So you slide on into the Eisenhower-Johnson Tunnel, and as we're heading in, here we go, baby. This tunnel was built in the late 70s, and at the time, it was, I think, the longest tunnel in the world at this point, over a mile long. It's a very long tunnel. I think there's some longer ones now, but you can see this is a very, very long tunnel. And you go shooting through, and then you finally start to come out the other side, and there you go as we're coming out, and there you go, 11,000 feet, and now you start to drop down into Dillon, Colorado. Yeah, that tunnel is 11,000 feet. It's high up there. Then you come down the other side into Dillon, you can get your way over to Keystone, you keep going, you go through Vail, blah, blah, blah. So it's a skier's paradise up there, baby. All right, so I think that's all the updates. Sorry this video took so long in the making, but I wanted to show all this great road footage of going over the Bighorns in Wyoming, Glenwood Canyon in Colorado, and the tunnel and everything else. Like I say, got a lot of stuff done, got my DOT physical done. I'm good for another 2 years, so I can drive a truck now legally and all that. Other paperwork done. Now we're gonna try to get through the house. That's the goal. Either with a combination of a couple loads or one long one. And waiting for me at the house is the Garmin E-Log. I bought that. It should have been arrived last Tuesday. It took an extra week. You know, like everything's been running slow these days. I'm sure you've noticed that. But it was on sale for $125, and there's no monthly subscription fees. All the issues I've been having with the trucking office E-Log, you know, they sent a new dongle thing. Mark's testing that out right now, and then I'm going to try the Garmin E-Log and see how it does. I do have I bought the new Garmin 1010, so I'll have a little preview at the end of this video about that, and my next video will be the unboxing of that and everything, so stay tuned for all of that. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry no Rusty. I'm going to pick him up. He's still at the house in Cheyenne. I thought I was only going to be away from the house for a day or two, and it turned into over a week. That's the way it is, baby. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get to your comments as soon as I can because I'm a working truck driver. There's Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter, where I always put all the Rusty stuff. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty sleeping at home. Out. You can have your lab inspect this letter all you want, but they're not going to find out what I already know. You find this crazy typewriter, and you found your kidnapper. Okay, normally Rusty's in the end here, but he's still at home, so here's the preview of the next video. Yes, it's the Garmin Diesel OTR 1010. Went ahead and got it, so we're going to be doing the unboxing and initial use of this unit in the next video.